We are recording. Let me put everybody on mute. 1 second. More. Oh, my bad. Sorry, mute all. All right, perfect. So, welcome back to GJ. Welcome back to the breakdown. So, as you can see here, we decided to start on the weekly time frame just because last time I checked, we had hit a weekly resistance zone, aka supply. It was supply that is going to be turned into a demand zone, and we're going to continue pushing off. The next area that I see GJ actually going to is up here to the 175 area. There is a lot of resistance right above it, so I want to see if we have enough room to kind of break. But as far as right now, GJ has been supported by these zones right here that you see me making. So this is kind of like where we are within supply and demand zones, and as far as market structure goes. I'm starting from the weekly time frame because from right here at this point where I started at, this is the last market structure area. So I want to make sure that I'm clear and that I'm concise on, what I'm showing and where we're going, because structure is very important, but structure also gives the details that we need to kind of understand. So in this scenario, I'm actually not drawing retests. I'm just drawing slowly structure. And the point of me drawing structure is that way I understand when these fib levels get hit, where it is that I am. Notice that I'm also on the weekly time frame. So what's going to be very key and very vital is that I have these QPs kind of lining up with my analysis. So as you can see right here, where the market's found support at, right around here, we have a 152 flat QP. And then right around here where it made, its resistance turn support, we have a 157 QP. So I'm going to kind of make these a little bit more clearer. So by the time we get down to these lower time frames, you kind of understand. If you guys don't know about quarter points, please feel free to check out the Quarter Theories book. It'll definitely change your life. But staying focused on the breakdown, making sure these QPs are on point. So GJ kind of came around there to respect. And again, I have a fib that kind of set the tone for right here to right here. So it may appear as 23.6, but it really was a 38.2. We're going to switch it to the daily time frame. You're going to notice that market structure fib that I did kind of went ahead and disappeared. But I'm going to start it from right around here. And the reason being, it was from this lowest point. We last made a market structure point right here. So we're going to kind of take that market structure point to where we are with current price to kind of see. So I'm going to start from exactly this wick right here. That is the swing low of the whole move. So I'm going to put it from wick. And I'm going to measure it to the highest candle. Upon me dragging it out from right here, you see that we have a lot of 23.6s that kind of continued where the wick just got tested. So we always drag our 0% to the highest point. You can see that right here. The price is respecting at a 23.6 as well. Drag it to the highest point. We can see that right here at 23.6 as well. So when price does these 23.6s, you just want to ensure that you're on the right end of structure, right? So right around here, you can see where price is kind of respecting. And that's near the 149 area, which we also have a QP there as well. I'll go ahead and plot that. That was a major area of support. So because that was a major area of support, we're just plotting our majors to ensure that we know where we are within structure. But we also had a 38.2 right here. Now, it was this 38.2 that we made a high, and then we retested and broke this area, making this last point that we touched a market structure area. So what I like to do with my market structure areas is to keep track so I don't get lost in the sauce. I like to put a little eclipse there, so that way as I go down lower, I know I'm starting from as far as the structure goes. Cool? All right, so boom. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to kind of condense it and kind of bring everybody into right here so that way we know where we are. So boom. I'm going to do from here is I'm going to drop my fibs, right? The reason why I'm going to plot my fibs from here and not that wick is because as I go down lower, this is going to become the higher low point that kind of made us break. But one thing I want to show y'all is that price came right here at the 50%, the 61.8 and tried to make structure. The reason why price kind of came back here is because we have a little zone right here, right? When price breaks things, it always comes back for a retest. So let's keep that in mind. Keep in mind also that every time frame gets their own color when it comes to market structure. This same zone is going to save us later, and you're going to see why I kind of draw my supply and my demand zones on my higher time frames. So you could see right here that we broke, we came back, we never came back for a market structure retest until right here. We didn't have enough momentum to break. As you can see, we didn't break structure because we didn't break past the previous higher low, but we came and respected 88.6. We came and respected 88.6. Last time I checked, 88.6 is a market structure area. So boom, we'll just kind of place it right there. We came back and respected on this area. Still tried to shoot up, failed to break. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag our fib over from that highest price point. And now what you're seeing is that price came again, shot up, failed to break this higher high up here. Just made a high, came back to 50%, printed and settled on it. Tried to go up, failed to break 0%. So now we have a major up here at 158, which is right around here that we just can't seem to shake. So the reason why I'm putting that resistance up there is because that was the area or price point that price failed to break at. I'm going to kind of delete this other resistance because it doesn't matter anymore. That's the highest point that the market came to that was failing to break over and over. Keep in mind, this was from November all the way to February, so we've been in a range. But one thing I want to show y'all is that higher low, we made a higher low here, but as gradually time, as it's trying to get more momentum, we came back and respected 78.6. Now, it was 78.6 that brought us to this new high point, but last time I checked, 78.6 is a market structure level. So this is how I kind of came to be right here with this price point out of my eclipse. So boom, now we can delete our fib. We can delete that arrow, and now we can just focus on this structure price point. What I'm making sure I do as I go down from time frame to time frame, I'm making sure that I'm respecting the market structure before I continue everything. So a lot of my analysis for the higher time frame is going to come from my daily time frame, right? So it was right around here that was kind of significant for me. I'm going to kind of switch it to the 11 hour now because I want y'all guys to see in clear detail. You can see that right around here, and let me draw it real quickly for y'all with the polyline tool. If I was supposed to go ahead and draw a structure, that price came back right here and retested before it went long. It was this little retest that I kind of want everybody to kind of pay attention to because it was that little retest that kind of broke. We were in a little mini downtrend, of course, over here, but it was this pull up and this pullback that kind of broke structure. So now before we even base our fibs, we need to start our fibs from this price point so that way we make sure we know where we are. So you could see as we're drawing our fibs and we finally broke above, that right here, this was the highest point. We kind of came back right here and settled on 38.2. So as you guys know, 38.2 is a market structure area. Boom. So we have that. Not only do we have that, but we also have another major QP right there. That's the 160. That 160 became our new support area for this overall push, for this overall area that we're at right now. So what I was doing this week that just passed was the major QP was that major area. So I was just watching price action and it's making sure that I can see and understand what price action is trying to show me because that 160 was at 38.2. So I know that price action should be kind of being maintained from that price point. From there on out, what I went ahead and did was I drew a fib according to this time frame that I was on from this swing low to this swing high, and I saw how the market came back and did an 88.6 retracement again. So for those of you guys who know about market structure and know how these things work, 88.6 is a little bit on the slower side, but you know it gets the job done. One thing I do want to say is we had this beautiful demand zone right here. So I ended up knowing that, supply zone turned demand. So I ended up knowing that that was going to be a potential TP for us. But I got out just a little bit before with the move, which I'll see in the details later when the breakdown kind of comes out. So for this week, for this move, sorry about that. We still got some way to go. We're kind of half point. We still got to get to 0%, but we got to make sure we have enough momentum. This candle that I'm about to show you is very strong. If you look at it, we have a tested candle right here at the bottom. Tested candles at the bottom mean that price is going to go up. And then look at this bullish engulfing that we have. We got a little chunk right there, but it's this candle right here. It's a very full, very powerful, very solid. That lets us know that buyers are definitely in control. And then you can see over here where sellers kind of took over, buyers took back over. And now, you know, we're consolidating a little bit because of such that large push, but they're going to get ready to kind of move off again. One thing I do want to let y'all know also that we have right there, if y'all guys aren't used to me saying it by now, get used to me saying it. We also have another major QP right there, literally where price settled at. So it's up to the markets when price kind of opens that if it's going to settle above this QP, but I want y'all to pay attention to price action because price action on these analyzing time frames, which are all these all the way up into the 1 hour, is going to tell a story, right? So again, we came at the 88.6 and we shot up. All that news that happened with, Russia and, the war and everything like that kind of made us decline. But we were also due for a market structure move as well. So the biggest thing is that pay attention to this candle. This is a seller's candle. That means that at one point in time, this candle was engulfing this candle. But look at the rejection. This candle says a lot on the 7-hour that sellers are exhausted. They're tired. They don't want to go down anymore. It only wants to go up. They don't have enough momentum to overtake this bullish area that we just purported. Letting me know that this 7-hour, that's a 7-hour support. I got onto the 5-hour. Now we're seeing that same rejection candle. We got another tested candle. So again, tested candles at the bottom mean that price is going to go up. So what I'm expecting when the market kind of opens up today is that it's either going to try to come back and retest, or it may try to come back even to this supply zone down here. Demand zone, and try to come and interact with price to even continue going long. Let's take it a step further. Let's go to the 3-hour. Now, this 3-hour is very, very beautiful, right? The reason being why it's very, very beautiful, because for any seller who sells the market would have saw this, right? They would have saw that from here to here, price kind of came. Guys, I need y'all to keep it muted.
But so why they record to you?
Keep it muted, please. So, we came back right around here at this 23.6. We tested it. We didn't respect it there. We came down. So if you're paying attention to this fib area right here, this became the last market structure area within this whole move right here. Price kind of came and definitely broke back structure. Now, it was never really a seller's market to begin with. Sellers just took over for a short period of time, but this push up should have let you know that, hey, buyers are back and that now we're ready to go long. So everybody should be looking for buys, right? That's via the 3-hour. Now we're going to go down to like the 1-hour, right? The 1-hour would have showed you a little bit more precise, a little bit more concise. Let's just say that this same market structure that I broke, let me show you on the 1-hour how we've been broke it from before. If you look right here, it was this formation and this formality that let me kind of take the trade with all confidence, right? What it is that I took it. We already had this little mini break right here, of course, when this candle kind of came up, but this candle was the retest, and then we literally had some momentum right here. But I was able to catch the full push. So y'all guys will figure out later how I caught the full push. But the whole concept of it is that we were never in a downtrend. We were always in an uptrend. So you got to just know when the market is changing trends and where you are, right? But here's the biggest thing for the 1-hour time frame. It was from this push down here to where we are right now is basically where we're at right now. So again, price came back to this 38.2 marker near, and it's crazy because it's near a QP area. Can't make this shit up. Near the 750 QP, where we have 38.2. So we have a lot of confluence right here for the upcoming move. You can see that we have also a lot of seller's exhaustion and buyer's rejection right here coming into this zone. So that should be letting you know that price is definitely rejecting this area. So if you take a trade, the best thing that I can recommend is wait for the retest and try to have your stop loss at least underneath this zone until price starts to respect a different zone. There's a zone right here that's being respected that I can go ahead and draw out for you guys, but I don't know if it's strong enough to hold compared to the other one on the higher time frame. But there's a little zone right here that needs to kind of get retested before we kind of go longer. So I don't want to go anything lower than that, but I expect price, at least for this week, to at least come up back up here to 166, if not higher. But based on a bigger structural move, we actually need to go back to 0%, if not higher. So this should be the week for it. Let's just wait. Let's just be patient. Let's just wait for what the market has to show us and wait until the market has to open up and see what she has to show us. But based on market structure and everything that I've seen thus far at this point, we're looking good for an overall big structural movement back up to the upside, as long as we continue maintaining areas that we previously broke. So that's going to kind of be it for this breakdown. I see like a lot of bullish movement. I'm going to end the recording here, and y'all guys have a wonderful day. Deuces.